From summoning weak-ass baby zombies to summoning literally godly aliens and easily killing the ascended wizard, today I will be guiding you on how to build the arguably best class in Necesse, the summoner class. I guarantee you that by the end of the video you can finally stop your delusions that you're actually good at aiming with range class or quote-unquote dealing massive damage with mage class.
It's the biggest piece of dog shit.
I guarantee you will be switching to summoner class because it's like playing the game on creative mode. Now in this video, I will be discussing some general summoner guide, what basic things you need to know, what potions to take, some do's and don'ts. Next will be what are the best trinkets for the build, and of course, progression, the best path to take the whole game, and last but not the least, the best summoning build you could ever use in order to defeat the Ascended Wizard. I will be speaking directly from experience since I love summoning and I made a couple video about it. Even defeated the Ascended Wizard for the first time with Summoner. We did it! We did it! We did it! Oh my! I make a lot of Necesse content, so if you do like this video or this type of content, I would appreciate it if you do subscribe. Or even just comment a little something. Now without further ado, let's start with some general tips. So, I would also like to focus on beginners, not just in summoning but Necesse itself. So first up, summoning minions does not use any charges. It can be done unlimited times, just like in Terraria. And to remove your current summons, you can right-click the summon buff icon found on the top right of your screen. You can also use your summoning gear to right-click on an enemy, in that way your summons will be focusing on the enemy that you selected. Now the only limitations for summoning minions is the summoning slot. It determines how many minions you are allowed to summon. By default it's 1, but it can be raised by various ways which I will discuss later on. With that on mind, there are two types of summon weapons. Number 1, summons that take up summoning slot, and number 2, of course, weapons that doesn't. Summons that take up slot are typical summons. You summon them, they follow you, they attack when they see enemies. Now the other type are the summoning weapons that are more like ranged weapons. For example, Frost Piercer, where you summon frost crystals and they attack the nearest enemy and disappear. Think of it as an unlimited ranged weapon, you know? Usually what happens is you use the first type, which is the slot type, as your main summon and damage, and use the non-slot type for extra damage. In that way, you can also attack while your summons also attack. Lastly, you should always be carrying a minion potion in order to add another +1 in your total summons. This can be made with Glacial Shard, Cave Glow, and Ice Fish. Now that you know some of the basics, let's now head on to the trinkets. The first trinket you should get is of course the Summon Foci. It gives you 20% summon damage, but it also decreases any other weapon damage with 20%. This is one of the drops by the Evil's Protector. You can farm it until it drops the Summon Foci. Now what I recommend you to do is upgrade it into Balance Foci and turn it into Balance Frostfire Foci. You can be flexible, and at the same time it deals an extra 35 damage and it slows down your target. The second important trinket is the Mesmer Tablet, which adds +1 on your total summon. It can be found in Dungeon Chest. Later on, you can look for the Inducing Amulet, which can be found in Pirate Villages, and mix them both up to create the Hysteria Tablet, which adds +2 total summons and 30% summon speed. The number one rule in summoning is that more summon you have, the more damage you do, which is why you should also get Scrying Mirror, which adds +1 summon in total. This trinket can be found in deep desert caves, so it's kind of a mid-game trinket. The next one I can recommend is the Companion Locket. It increases summon damage and speed greatly for each unused summon, and the increase diminishes slightly beyond first unused summon. Now I know that sounds complicated, but think of it this way. Let's say you have 5 total summons. Each summon will have bonuses. The first summon will have +100% bonus, the next one will have 90%, and the third one will have 80%, so on and so forth. Now, being the late game summoning weapon is the Crystal Ruby Dragon, this will be very worth it. Well, this goes beyond my explanation and I can't really do justice on it, so if you want a more in-depth explanation, I will leave the guide below. Next is the Bone Hilt, which increases armor penetration by 20, and trust me, if you want to deal serious damage, you need this. Actually, any other class in Necesse needs this. Bone Hilt is just amazing. Now, there are still trinkets that I will be recommending later on, but it won't make sense right now, so I'll just talk about it on the final build. Now, let's do the progression. What are the best armors and weapons you should use on each phase of the game? Now, freshly spawned on the world, this is the only suckiest part of the summoner build, well, except the Swamp Guardian, because both the first summoning weapons are kinda hard to get. You can either get a brain on a stick, which is sold by the exotic merchant for 800 gold, or you need to farm up some spider in order to make the spider stuff. You can also get the magic branch from the snow caves, but what I really recommend is go for the spider staff and the spider armor set. It's easy to farm, not gonna lie. All you have to do is go down the forest biome cave. And don't put any torches so the spiders spawn more frequently. They will drop spider glands, which you will need of course in order to make the spider set. With that, I can guarantee you the evil's protector will be like beating a baby. Not that I would know. Now the snow biome, the spider queen. You should get some extra royal egg and some frost shards in order to make the arachnid set. The spider staff should be fine, but you could get the bashi bush early on the dungeon. I also recommend you to farm the queen spider until it drops the frost piercer, the secondary summoning weapon I'm talking about. You will actually be using this until the deep forest cave. Trust me, it's really good. Now the final boss on the first phase, the Void Wizard. Now you should also look for the next summoning weapon, the Bashi Bush. I love this, guys. They deal 18 damage each compared to the 14 damage of the spider staff. These can also be found by killing the Bashi Bush monster inside the laboratory thingy on the dungeon. By this time, you should now look for the Mismir tablet in order to increase your summons. And with that, the Void Wizard will be a piece of cake. Now with the Plains Cave, the arachnid armor should be fine, and of course use the frost piercer. Now the other thing you should do is get the sentient sword from the Plains Cave, and either use that as your main summon or mix it with your Bashi Bush, since the sentient sword actually takes up 2 summoning slots. Either way, it's important to get the sentient sword. And now, the bane of my goddamn existence, one of the hardest boss in Necesse, the Swamp Goddamn Guardian. I'll tell you straight, fuck Ivy armor, go straight for the whole quartz set. And kill the vulture first, cause that dude is so easy, it's fine. Kill the vulture until you get the vulture staff, in that way you can replace your Bashi Bush. Again, quartz armor. It's easy, just get the ivy pickaxe and then farm some quartz. Now with that, you can now defeat the Swamp Guardian. Probably, man. You're on your own on this one. Now, with facing the pirate captain, if you already have the whole quartz set, vulture staff, and frost piercer, then you are all good to go. But before facing the pirate captain, I suggest you go look for the inducing amulet first. It's really not much of a fight, you just have to dodge the cannonballs and all of the attacks, and your summon will basically do all the job and you'll be just supporting them by using the frost piercer. Now during the deep forest cave, by this, you have now unlocked the tungsten workstation. So craft the hysteria tablet and you can also make the minion potion. So make sure to always bring some. Now as long as you have the quartz armor, sentient sword, and the frost piercer, you should be fine. But if you're really struggling, you can grind for the cryo staff and glacial armor, or even the miscellaneum armor. Now what I really recommend, although it's kind of hard, you can actually skip every armor and get yourself a tungsten pickaxe, mine some glacial ore, make a glacial pickaxe, use that to get amber and dried wood, make the dried pickaxe, get some miscellaneum ore, make the pickaxe, and of course, use that to mine the ancient fossil pickaxe. Now, this path is actually possible and it's also the most efficient way, and this is the best way to get the most possible strong build during this phase, and I have actually done it on my run and it saved me a lot of time and trouble. Once you have the ancient armor set for summoner, the Reaper will be a piece of cake. I also want you to grind the Reaper until you get the Reaper Skull, because it's the best possible secondary weapon for summoning you could get. And using the same set, just literally kill the Cryo Queen. During the Deep Plains Cave or killing the Cursed Cron, it shouldn't be that hard assuming you got the Ancient Armor set, Reaper Skull and Sentient Sword. Also, I recommend you to get the Bone Hilt and Companion Locket at this point. Now with the Pest Warden, you shouldn't struggle as well and you will be using the same build. The only difference now is I highly recommend that you craft the banners since you have now access to the banner stand. Same thing with the Sage and Grit. Now if you're really struggling a bit, what you can do is you can use the Carapace Shield, which I actually did, and I found it very efficient against Sage and Grit. Now you will be farming Sage and Grit until you get your next summoning weapon, the Skeleton Staff. Okay, so with the Fallen Wizard, again you should have the whole Ancient Armor set, Reaper Skull and Skeleton Staff. Also for the Trinkets, if you're struggling a bit, I recommend you get the Ancient Relics, in that way you can dodge more, or even use the Blink Scepter. Those are kinda unnecessary but it's really up to you. With that, I can guarantee you with the proper dodges and some free hits, you can easily defeat the Fallen Wizard. And now, the incursions. Okay, regarding the incursions, I haven't actually experienced grinding it with purely summoner build, but on my last video, I can confidently say that I have made the best possible summoner build you can use in order to defeat the Ascended Wizard. I might make a more in-depth video, but I want to show you guys the best possible summoning build that you can use. And yes, I actually used this, and I was using a melee build before, and the difference between them is like day and night. This summoner build is just the best for my opinion. Now, you gotta want to take the whole Ruby Crystal set. What's cool about this armor is, on top of the +1 maximum summon, it increases your summoning slot per 150 resilience. Now, if you use a Manica and a Clockwork Heart, that gives you more resilience. I was able to get 375 in total, and I can summon 8 minions. Of course, I drank some minion potion. And you can actually add more if you want to enchant all of your items into giving you more resilience, but I don't recommend it. What I recommend is a mix of Precise Enchantment, which give you crit, and Sturdy, which give you armor. In that way, you don't get one shot, because using the Clockwork Heart, your health is actually kinda low, and I found myself getting one shot often when exploring some incursions. But yeah, I was able to remedy that with the Sturdy enchantment. Of course, you're gonna want a Crystallized Skull as your main summoning weapon with of course a Savage enchantment. But in my case, I use an Antique Rifle with the Void Bullets. Just make sure what you are using actually helps you free hit. And here's actually my full final build. I'm gonna tour you for a bit. Okay, so as you can see, this is actually my full final build that I used in order to defeat the Ascended Wizard. Now, like I've said, the whole crystal set with the Ruby Crown, there you go. There, as you can see, my resilience is up to 375 and I can summon 7 minions at a time, but I can increase this using the minion potion. My enchantments are, I have a Precise Ruby Crown, which gives me plus 8% crit chance rather, and I have a Sturdy chestplate and boots, which gives me 16 armor in total. And my trinkets are the Manica, like I've mentioned before, which is also sturdy, the Clockwork Heart, and I gave it I actually used Nimble quite a bit so I can be more mobile, but it's up to you guys. And I also have a Precise Frozen Soul, gives me more crit, and this helped a lot. Like while fighting the Ascended Wizard, this popped twice. So I could have died without this. And it also increases your max health by 50, so I recommend you really get that. I also use Precise Assassin's Cowl, but that's just because I use the Antique Rifle. Now you can replace that with a Companion Locket if you really want to focus on the summoning weapons. And of course the Hysteria, giving me more movement speed. I use Nimble on it. And Precise Challenger's Pauldron, which gives me plus 100% resilience. Now, I actually forgot this to put on my script. This trinket really helped me a lot since my resilience just regenerates more, so I don't really die often. And of course, a scrying mirror, and lastly, a balanced frostfire foci. So I also use the kinetic boots, which is pretty cool, but it doesn't have a dash, so you can replace that. But yeah, that's
And
the
with
whole
that, the
build.
Ascended
And now
Wizard
look,
will fall in no time.
a chicken can
And that's all
fucking
for our
fly.
guide today. And let me know what you think. If this video helps you, please do hit that subscribe button and let me know if I help you guys finish Necesse or helped you enjoy using this summoner build. That's all for me today, guys, and I'll see you next time.